On today's show,
we discuss Blake Griffin's Pistons debut and whether Greg Monroe can help the Celtics.
did Westbrook handle the fan situation well? Should we expand the dunk contest field? Who will take home worst of the week?
And Jamal Murray has Steven Adams playing Twister in this week's Top 10 Plays.
It's Friday, February 2nd. The starter starts now.
Good evening, Sweet World, and welcome to The Starters, presented by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV, watching later on YouTube, doesn't matter, we're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tass Mellis.
Happy Friday.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over yonder, that's the bearded one, that's JT. No, that's Trey Kirby. Hey, yo! I saw your JT shirt there.
Yeah, man, I'm a man of the woods too. What can I say? I'm here at the internet, not at the woods. Looking for your best tweets at #TheStarters. If you missed it yesterday, Lee paid off his January pick'em payoff loss by crushing a souped-up version of the ALS Pepper Challenge. It was hilarious.
I mean, the Band-Aid, rip it off.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, my mouth feels like it is just like it's going to fall off. They don't need him. They don't need him. And if LeBron's available, you want to get him, but you do not need to create a max cap space for it.
Kill Lee Ellis tonight.
That was great, and also great was the picture that Lee posted earlier in the day of himself getting ready to chomp down on a habanero. That got the people photoshopping. First it was Lee eating different foods. He had some bananas, he had some pocket dogs. Things got weirder. He also ate a giraffe and, of course, a Tide Pod.
Oh,
Don't do it, kids.
Yeah, don't do that.
But then things got even weirder with Lee screaming at himself on the left, forget about it, on the right, you forget about it. And then, even stranger, Lee got turned into a very fancy ballerina. Good stuff, but we want more, so hit us up on Twitter at #TheStarters. Photoshop old Pepper Lee here. Send us your spiciest images. We'll have a look a little bit later.
How you feeling?
The mouth is still a little numb.
Yes?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's coming
Some
back
24
slowly.
hours
Yeah,
later. Okay,
yeah.
well, you did an unbelievable job
Well, I took
yesterday.
like 500,000 of those, whatever they were, in my mouth. So, what was it? The 250,000?
The scale.
Oh,
Exactly.
the Scoville
huh?
units.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't
Old
even know what you were
Scoville.
eating.
Yeah,
Talking
yeah.
Scovilles?
Yeah.
All right, on tonight's show, we got worst of the week, we got the best top 10 in sports, and, well, we got Lee's very solid play. But let's start with some true or false questions. Got a bunch of topics to try and tackle here on tonight's show. Trey, take it away.
Blake Griffin made his Detroit debut last night, going for 24 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 blocks in a win against his old foes, the Grizzlies. In keeping with Blake tradition, it wasn't pretty, but it was pretty effective and eventually pretty wet. Guys, true or false, Blake Griffin impressed in his Pistons debut.
Blake was his very good self in his Pistons debut. For one shoot-around that he had with the team, yeah, he looked good. But I wouldn't celebrate a win over the Memphis Grizzlies without a Mike Conley and even a Tyreek Evans who didn't play. Let's not get too pumped up over this. I think the best thing, or the most interesting thing, I should say, to come out of this was Blake Griffin playing the 5 to end the second quarter and the fourth quarter. Andre Drummond sitting. Now, why it's interesting to me, Andre Drummond sitting will not make him happy. But the second thing, Blake at the 5 is a good thing on the offensive end. You get a ton of room around him. But at the defensive end, he's not really a rim protector.
Sure.
So I think that going forward is pretty interesting. Otherwise, yeah, they won.
Do you agree?
Well, they're supposed to be paired together as well.
Yeah,
Blake
exactly,
and Andre, so you want to see them out on the court during crucial times. But I also noticed last night 13 free throw attempts, which was key because his athleticism is declining somewhat, but he's able to use his strength to get into position to still score. And I think that's what's important because we've talked about him adding the three-pointer to his game. If he can get down low and when he had mismatches on him, take advantage of that, he'll be a very, very effective scorer as his career moves on.
You guys are being a little harsh. I can't believe you're
Oh,
not
I
saying
thought it was
unbelievable.
fine.
No, look,
Undefeated since the Blake
That's a
train.
great
Undefeated.
start. That's a great start. The Pistons were desperate for another,
They
especially
beat
with
the
Reggie
Grizzlies.
Jackson.
They beat
out.
the Grizzlies barely.
And they
needed-
killed the
Barely.
Cavs without Blake Griffin.
They-
Undefeated 2-0, looking
they,
good.
They needed a go-to creator and someone to not only try and create his own shot, but set up other guys. Blake did that last night. Again, limited time. A lot of those points, you're right, did come at the line, but he had 5 assists. That led the team. He was a plus 23 in a game they barely won.
And when he went to the bench, they really suffered as well.
That's a pretty good start. Yeah.
They ran everything through him.
Yeah.
I'm worried about their guard play. They need Reggie Jackson back.
Everybody is.
When Reggie Jackson was in the lineup, since he went down, they were 5 games above 500.
Yeah.
So they're a good team when they need him back desperately.
For sure. And he should be back somewhat soon. All right,
Yeah.
Trey, next one.
All right, Thunder Nuggets might have been the game of the year, but it's what happened at the end that has everybody talking. Because as soon as Gary Harris hit a nice game winner, some foolish Nuggets fan got in Russell Westbrook's face, hit him with a Ric Flair, woo! And then Westbrook pushed him. Not a great look for everybody involved, but true or false, Westbrook did nothing wrong.
True.
It's true, yeah.
I wish he didn't. I wish he didn't touch him.
Okay, technically
But
he did
what it-
something. He didn't do nothing. He could have just stood there. Yeah, but he
Yeah.
didn't punch him. He didn't really
Yeah.
aggressively push him back. The guy wooed in his face and he said, "Come on, man,
Yeah.
get off the court." He's basically saying, "Get off the court." And you know what? Good job by the referees and that one, official there, the security guy. He was sort of quickly on it. So, no, but Westbrook is not going to get disciplined. It sounds like he's not from the NBA. We're just learning right now. And that's the right call because that guy should not be out there.
Fans should not be on the court any more than
No.
players should go into the
Exactly.
into the stand.
Exactly.
So once that fan enters the court, then all bets are off. If the security isn't going to stop him, the players have got the right to defend themselves. You don't know what that guy may have been doing. He might have just been, celebrating like he did. But if Westbrook can't trust the security to stop that guy, then something bad could happen.
Yeah, I'm very glad that Russell Westbrook is not getting fined for it whatsoever. Because I want the fans' accessibility and the closeness of that front row seat to remain. I mean, because you don't want ropes there. You don't want any sort of barriers there. Now, I think usually security allows a lot of this kind of stuff to happen. Fans get on the court, not necessarily get in players' face, but they get on the court. They high five. They cheer. And usually it's in a home court environment. This guy was obviously, it's in Denver. The game's over. So you kind of have to, play it by ear a little bit.
The guy stepped to Westbrook.
Yeah.
Did he not?
He
and he's
100%
just
stepped
pumped.
to it.
Gary Harris just hits a game-winning 3. I get that you'd be very excited, but you can't go to the opposition. I mean, he's a good 5 or 6 feet out on the court.
That's why the security has to get in the way a little bit and understand. And I think that angle there plays a little bit of camera tricks. I think he's actually closer to Russell Westbrook than it makes it seem there. Like he's getting into his face a little bit.
That was a big guy, too.
Yeah, I know. He didn't go back when Russell pushed him.
No, Russ pushes him. That guy doesn't barely move at all.
To be fair, though, once Russell touches him, I think that guy realizes he's a little close. And he's like, oh.
He just got caught up in
Yeah.
the heat of the moment. I really do believe. I don't know the guy at all, but I think he's just super excited.
You don't know?
It's not,
I don't
your
know
buddy
that
Griff.
guy. I don't know that guy. I'd roll with him. He'd make great security himself. He should maybe get a job there. Start keeping people like him back. That's a big dude. All right, Trey. So, he's not going to get fined or suspended, anything crazy like that. What's the next one?
All right, it could have happened way back in November, but earlier this week, Greg Monroe was bought out by the Phoenix Suns, and today, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski reported that Monroe has signed a deal with the Boston Celtics, where he'll presumably back up Al Horford and put up better numbers than you think. True or false, Greg Monroe will help the Celtics.
It's true. He's got a bit of a bad reputation because he's got an old style game. He doesn't spread the floor. He's not a three-point shooter, but he's a effective low post scorer. Also not a great defender, but he's a good rebounder. And coming off the bench, I think that's what the Celtics need. They need a little bit more pop in that lineup offensively, and I think he can really help them.
Against second units, Greg Monroe's going to score a lot of points. Just running the offense through them. That's what the Bucks did in the postseason last year. They ran their second unit through him. And I looked up today. The Boston Celtics are 16th in offense overall. I was surprised by that statistic.
That's a bit surprising.
Up against their number 1 defense. Now, Greg Monroe, not a defensive helper, really. I mean, that's not his forte, and that's why he's great off the bench, because he's not really going to get scored on as much by second unit guys. And, their bench just needs a little bit of pop. You watch their
100%
games,
agree.
sometimes they're lacking a little bit on finding guys who can score.
When Kyrie goes to the bench, I mean, they rank something like 23rd in the NBA in terms of pure bench points. Bench points per game, 32.1, something like that. So, Monroe's going to help you there. He got $5 million. More money than the Pelicans could possibly offer him after he obviously was bought out from the Suns. So win-win for him. And they had the spot. They had that, obviously, injury exception there because of the Hayward injury to use some of that money and get him. That's a nice pickup. And you're right. He's only played in the playoffs once. He played those 6 games
The Raptors
against
had trouble,
the Raps,
though.
but he's a beast in there. And like Trey said there in the intro, he puts up surprising numbers in very, very limited time, and he did so in the playoffs. So
He's taken
nice call from
Daniel
the Celtics.
Tice's minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not bad.
Final one, Trey.
All right, contestants for the Verizon Slam Dunk were announced last night. We got a nice crew, including almost champ and drone enthusiast Aaron Gordon. We got the extendo-armed son of a dunk champ, Larry Nance Jr. The lead must be happy. Mr. 540 Victor Oladipo will be there for the first time as an all-star. And the rookie everyone wanted to see in the preseason at least, Dennis Smith Jr. Looks like a good group, but guys, true or false, the NBA should expand the dunk contest field. Excuse me while I cough.
Okay, you all right?
That's not a joke.
All right, we're good.
You eat the chili pepper?
Yeah, we need a pepper or something.
Yeah, let me get a pepper real quick to wash that down.
I like this floor. I like the field. Looks
very good.
solid. Looks solid. But we could. I don't want to do it every year, but I think you could this year expand this to 6 or 8 guys because we're
Oh,
missing
no.
a lot of good dunkers.
No, you can't do
Most
it.
notably is Donovan Mitchell.
I
I'm a
agree,
little
yeah.
shocked that he's not in
It's
there.
disappointing.
And then there's Jaylen Brown. There's Terrence Ferguson. There's maybe Derrick Jones Jr. again. So look, I can't be upset. These are 4 great dunkers, but Donovan Mitchell is the shocker to
Yeah.
me. And look, maybe someone gets hurt. Maybe someone gets injured. Tweaks an ankle, and you got to plug someone in there. He's already going to be there for the skills challenge. Maybe Mitchell then.
So he's
eventually goes
available.
in.
if
He's
needed.
available.
I
if
just
needed.
hope Larry Nance Jr. wears Dad's throwback jersey when he goes in it.
I mean, you have to assume that's going to happen, right?
And the shorts.
With the short
Yeah,
shorts. Okay,
yeah.
fair.
But you can't expand the slam dunk contest field because
Why?
all people do is complain about how long it takes or how many guys when guys miss. That's what they complain about.
You're
This will
right.
just make it longer. The other argument from the other side is, well, what makes a dunk contest? One great performance from one guy. So just expand the number and maybe
And
you
you
get
hope-
one
yeah,
great.
that's-
But then it just takes too long.
No,
It does.
no, I think
oh
there's
my
a fair
God.
balance you
People
can do.
can't handle a guy missing one dunk on Twitter. They go crazy. And then you have to get multiple guys.
Dikembe, remember he got upset last year.
When the people were missing.
Yeah, you remember Dikembe in the crowd. Yeah.
The guys aren't trying to miss on purpose.
No?
No, they're not. Believe it or not. People would think on Twitter that they are, but they're not. I don't know. I wish Mitchell was in it, but I'm excited nonetheless. Aaron Gordon, everyone expects
back,
him to be
baby.
the favorite in this, and rightfully so. Just leave the drone at home.
No drones. Though.
No drones, Aaron.
And no drone zone.
That's exactly right. We gotta take a break. but
Echo
after the
chamber.
drop- TAS Awards, the dishonor for worst of the week. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to the show. We cover a heck of a league, but sometimes guys make mistakes. It's time for Worst of the Week.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst of the week.
Second runner-up this week, the Celtics' Marcus Morris. For this incident here where he bumped into James Capers, referee Capers takes a tumble. Marcus Morris doesn't help him up whatsoever. Come on.
Look at the
Little courtesy here.
the tensions between players and refs.
Oh,
man.
right. Just a hand to James Capers. That's all. That's all I'm asking for.
He's got the
here.
handout already.
Yeah, why not? Although I'm happy Marcus Morris has been wearing a different Eagles jersey this week, every single day of the week.
Wow, he's repping.
Yeah, because I'm cheering Eagles.
You're going Eagles?
Let's go Eagles.
Eagles?
Sure.
You don't care.
Fly Eagles fly.
All right, fly Eagles fly.
Yeah.
Who wants the Pats? though?
West Coast
Nobody.
Eagles.
Yeah, okay.
What? West Coast Eagles? What's that?
Oh,
Another
that's
Aussie.
another
Yeah,
rule.
right.
That's another-
First runner-up, the Los Angeles Clippers. Not for trading Blake Griffin. That's entirely fine. That's a debate for another time. For something that's happening far too much in the NBA these days, for players finding out that they got traded on Twitter, and Blake Griffin tweeted this when he found out on Twitter. He read about being traded from the only team he knows on Twitter. Now, current NBA TV analyst and former Cavs GM David Griffin said on NBA TV this week, that is the biggest failure of an organization, to not inform a player that he's being traded.
Poor communication.
Yeah, and I understand there's leaks and there's reporters doing their jobs, but you got to find a way. Just find a way to keep it sort of close to the vest and talk to a guy.
Can't disagree with that one.
Also, strange relationships with agents too, because agents should be
Yes,
there talking
that's
to their
true.
players, saying, "Listen, you're going to Detroit."
Yeah.
If they're not telling him, they're just trading him and then putting it out on Twitter.
You just want that agent to pick up the phone and give you a call.
That's all you
exactly
want.
You know
right.
what
You're
I mean?
asking.
That's
Exactly
exactly right.
Yeah. A winner of the week this week, the guy who stole Red Panda's unicycle. Now, I'm saying it's a guy because there's a suspect out there. But we know Red Panda. She is the best halftime act in NBA history.
Wow.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. But great news, guys. That 7-foot unicycle was stolen, but the Warriors are giving her a new one. A new custom unicycle, because hers was custom. Her agent had said she's heartbroken. It's like her baby was kidnapped. She's had that unicycle for 30 years, but the Warriors, where she does a lot of her performances at the Oracle, are giving her a new custom unicycle, which costs approximately $25K.
Wow.
$25,000.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Imagine if it was 2 wheels.
Well, I'm telling the Warriors I lost my car or something.
Does the unicycle depreciate over 30 years, though?
As soon as you cycle off the lot, it drops 30%.
That's what I thought. A little dirt on that tire.
But they'll usually throw in an extra clown nose, so it's fine.
Are they going to find this, though? And what happens if they find the original one? Does she have to give the one back to the Warriors, or does she just travel with 2?
I don't know.
Like a backup.
Hopefully this new one is good luck, because we haven't seen the same red panda that we saw earlier in her career.
No.
Pre-retirement. It's been a little MJ-esque. She retired, she came back.
Right.
She wasn't really the same red panda, but hopefully they find this man who stole it from the San Francisco airport.
We got photos.
We got photos. This man took it right off the carousel where she was waiting for her unicycle. Apparently, the unicycle's in one of those boxes.
Wow, it really folds up.
Yeah.
She was right there when he did it.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the proximity of where she was, but she was around.
Might be an
Man,
inside job.
this photo
Could be
would
an
be
inside
so
job.
great if he was on the unicycle riding away while she's chasing him.
Has anyone seen Spencer Hawes recently?
Interesting. All right, so worst of the week, whoever took her.
Whoever took it. But hey, the Warriors really saved the day.
Coming through. All right, we got to take a break. Lots more still to come on the starters tonight when we return. Well, it's the best top 10 in sports television. Yeah, we'll count down the best plays from the past 7 days.
The Starters is brought to you by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey, official partner of the NBA.
Back with the starters on this Friday night, where it's time to count down the top 10 plays from the past 7 days. Let's start at number 10. That makes sense. Manu Ginobili, woo! Going behind the back. Davis Bertans. Nice little finish.
Classic, Manu.
Oh, I
Beautiful.
know. I know. Nice little flare. Good finish, too. Got to get the finish in there to make the top 10.
At number 9, Giannis with the spin in those beautiful cream jerseys and the throwdown, of course.
What's incredible is that this is like an easy play for him.
Yeah, you can tell by the non-excitement in my voice that it's like Giannis can do that anytime.
Well, that's why it's at number 9.
That's fine. I'm still excited about
Number
it.
8, a couple pair of blocks here. Yeah, we'll start with Victor Oladipo. Help defense, getting Dwight. You know.
Dwight wants the goal pin.
Yeah. And then Kent Bazemore
Oh, yeah.
with a beautiful chase down block on his old teammate Jeff Teague. Coming out of nowhere.
This is great.
Slapping it off the glass.
At number 7, Mario Hezonja throws it down on Miles Turner. Mario.
All Hezovia him.
This is what we expected when he came into the league.
Yeah, that's
A
exactly
monster.
right. Exactly right. At number 6, wow, this is at 6. Joel Embiid crushing one on Westbrook and then staring him down. This is the best rivalry going right now. Embiid versus Westbrook. Huge, huge dunk. Westbrook trying to take the charge and just got a big old hip to the face and the poster.
At number 5, 2 beauty Jokic passes, and both to Trey Lyles. Watch this. Oh,
That's so nice.
Lyles, nice
He
finish,
does
too.
this a lot.
Yeah. King of the tip pass right now, for sure.
And now this one, on the baseline, he's got 3 Spurs around him. Oh. Finding Lyles. Beauty.
Wow.
So casual. At number 4, Jaylen Brown, who should be in the dunk contest, posterizes the unicorn, Kristaps Porzingis.
Jumps off his wrong foot.
Yeah.
Man, this is awesome.
D Brown. Oh man, he could be like D Brown in the dunk contest, number 7 and everything. It would have been perfect.
Dwight Howard, on the night he got a video tribute, a monster jam on Mike Muscala.
Don't see too many of these from Dwight anymore, but
The Hawks actually gave him another video tribute after this dunk.
Yeah, they had to put that one in.
Yeah, it was during the timeout. Yeah. At number 2, Jamal Murray drops the Kiwi. Steven Adams.
Oh, bruise that
Commonwealth
kiwi.
crime.
Kitchener's finest, Jamal Murray. Shout out to Cambridge, Waterloo, and Kitchener, all 3 of the Tri-Cities. Down goes Adams.
Tri-City's three-pointer right there.
Collapses. Oh yeah, the bench just drops too.
And at number 1, Gary Harris's game winner Thursday night on TNT, right in Russ's grill.
oh, wow.
Jokic, beauty pass.
You can see why that fan was excited. They had to woo in Westbrook's face. What a play.
Wow.
Beauty shot, beauty jerseys.
Crazy game.
Yeah.
That game was insane, the final 3 minutes of that Thunder Nuggets game. All right, gotta take one more break. When we come back, Lily, very solid play.
More from the Thunder.
Oh. We just gave you Plays of the Week, but if you want to see Plays of the Month, check out a new episode of High Tops tomorrow at noon Eastern on NBA TV. All right, we have good news and bad news coming out of Milwaukee today. The good news is that Jabari Parker returns tonight versus the Knicks, but the bad news is Malcolm Brogdon suffered a left quad injury during the second quarter of last night's game and is expected to miss 6 to 8 weeks of action. Taurean Prince is going to replace him in the Rising Stars game, and we'll go from there. Trey, got some Photoshops.
Yeah, some really, really weird ones. Our first comes from Kendra Parrish, who sends us a picture of Lee eating the comet that destroyed the dinosaurs.
What?
Another weird one from JC. Here's the worst Photoshop ever. Lee eating a picture of Vegemite with Bradley Beal on the wall. But my favorite I've seen so far, Ellisception. Lee eating his own tiny head. Looks delicious.
Yeah, you're mini-me, you're right. Okay, last night's Thunder Nuggets results. Wow. Tass and myself escaped with the Gary Harris game-winning 3. So we pick up the early lead for the month of February. Tonight's game, wow, Pacers, Hornets, everybody taking the Hornets at home. So good luck to them, I guess. Lily, DSP, who gets it?
Yeah, we're going back out to Denver for a long team one here, really. Everyone pretty much gets involved. Not all 5, but 4. Beautiful passing.
Whoa. That's a sexy dunk, man.
Yeah, I know, it does finish with a dunk. You know I prefer a layup, but it was just good teamwork that led to it. That's what I call a very solid play.
Very solid. Also solid, the Drop Podcast. It's up wherever you listen to the starters in podcast form. We discussed the LeBron Warriors rumor, the insanity behind that. We got into the Mirotic trade. And Lee tells us what his Food Network show would be called.
Beat Street.
Beat Street.
Yeah, just you go on a Beat Street, man. Beats are big. I'm putting them into every sort of meal you can find these days, except for breakfast.
I'll put beats in everything.
But not breakfast. Not breakfast.
That's where I draw the line.
Almost everything.
Lee, we got some fans.
Yes, we do. And this is the first ever complainted area fan sign. It comes from Ryan out in Utah. So shout out there to producer Matt. Yeah. This is Farm 1MK. I'm not sure what his name is there, but anyway, this is at the Air Canada Centre. And this is just a guy and some friends. They took a photo of us. So close enough's good enough, I say.
Yeah.
It's a fan sign. Yeah.
All right, get your fan signs in. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the NBA. We'll be back on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern.
That's right.
6 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m. is right.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, the starters like each other more than the Wizards do.
Brace the weekend, people.